All right, everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Matt. This is Shoponomics. I've got a special guest today, all the way from London. His name is Harvey, and he runs Blueprints. And yeah, I've got a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. This will be our first, also professional athlete that we've interviewed. So I want to hear a little about that too, Harvey. So yeah, Harvey's the CEO and founder of Blueprints, an SMS marketing solution for the D2C space. And yeah, before that, I believe you were running Matcha Works, so I'd love to hear about that as well. So welcome to the show, Harvey.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Matt. I'm excited to run through.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I guess first off, tell us how you transitioned from, well, for the U.S. people, a soccer player, and the London people, footballer. How did you transition from sports to business?
Yeah, I guess funny story, Matt. I always wanted to be a footballer. So from the age of 8 or so, trained to be a footballer. Ended up leaving school at 16 to go sign pro for my boyhood club. So it's a bit of a dream, I guess, from when I was at school. I played pro for about 4 or 5 years. However, within that time is when Shopify started to kick off, and I kind of got interested in building things on the side. I built a small clothing brand with my best mate from school, and it's just really where it kicked off. And I wanted to do more and more of that. And then it got to a stage where I was training in the mornings and early afternoons, and I'd come home and just work on the Shopify store and work on building businesses from there. And it got to a point where that actually became fairly successful on the side, and I didn't get offered a new deal at the club I was playing for. And it became quite a serendipitous time where they kind of co-aligned. And I thought, okay, well, I was really loving that and not so much the football at that time, and decided to jump right into that. And I guess 3-4 years later, yeah, it's expanded a ton.
Nice. Yeah, exciting. So it sounds like, yeah, just the transition was pretty smooth. And so yeah, I guess tell us, so was Matcha Works one of your first? Did you start that? And
yeah, so I think there's a load of similarities, by the way, between like playing football and trying to start a business. I know it sounds strange, but I think there's a ton. But yeah, so the first business was whilst I was playing football is a Shopify store called Shake It. It's a health and wellness brand. We had some clothing items, that's why I mentioned earlier. And that was fairly novel. So holistic health products like shaker bottles and yoga mats and things like that. Back in 2015, 16, that was, a fairly new thing. It did well on Shopify. We ended up selling that business to a yoga brand in the UK. And that was really the spark that kicked everything off. And then we had a little bit of a domain experience within wellness and e-com at that point because of that business. And then we saw matcha green tea as a trend in the States, and thought, okay, well, that will distill down into the UK over the course of, maybe a year or two. And there's really no one that owns that space here. So that's what we did. Matcha Works was a matcha green tea brand. We had ready to drink offerings and we had powdered offerings. Very capital intensive, very volatile business. It's quite hard to build, I'd say, looking back. But that was the second kind of core business. After football, I was building it with my co-founder Rory, my current co-founder. And yeah, learned a ton bootstrapping that, learning about how to try and scale a D2C brand, and that serendipitously became the platform and the springboard onto Blueprint.
Okay, got it. Now, are you kind of, are you in there, like, are you a developer, or are you more on the kind of the brand side and product side, marketing side, or do you do it all?
I'm more sales and marketing, so okay. more of the commercial arm of just trying to grow the business.
Okay, got it. All right, well, let's jump into Blueprint. So yeah, it looks like an exciting product or company. And so yeah, tell us more about Blueprint.
Yeah, sure. So as I said, with Matcha Works, our experience there was that it was really hard to get people to come back and buy from us, like really tough. Our retention was really poor, and getting customers to repeat order, to subscribe, to stay on subscription, to get feedback from them was really tough with kind of the state-of-the-art tooling, which is generally just an ESP, right, an email solution. And we thought at the time that SMS was a really good vehicle. Our whole hypothesis was that if we made the customer journey quicker and easier, then customers would come back more, they would order more, they would subscribe, etc. And we thought that SMS was a really good vehicle to go and make that quicker. So we built a really rough around the edges MVP for our own store, MatcherWorks, where customers could reorder from us just by replying, "Hey, can I reorder?" They could subscribe really easily. They could manage their subscription by saying like, "Hey, I'm away on holiday. Can I skip this one?"
Also all through text message.
All through text message, and then they could leave feedback really easily, and we could provide tracking details, things like that. Any like post order experience was really slick. And we did it for ourselves, and it had a massive impact on our LTVs. Like the reach was kind of low, but like for us, it was a massive impact, and it was really important because we were a bootstrap business in MatcherWorks, and we were bleeding chips. We were struggling to stay afloat because we just didn't have the cash, and also our retention was poor. So Classic kind of felt the acute pain ourselves, and then thought that there would be tens of thousands after seeing that it worked, and thought there'd be tens of thousands of other merchants that are feeling this pain. And that's really where we thought MatcherWorks is a great kind of catalyst. We've built this solution now called Blueprint. It worked for us. Let's go and democratize that to the Shopify ecosystem. And really, that was the spark or the kickstart of then the journey of the last 18 months.
Okay. Wow. So only 18 months now.
Yeah. Sure. So we launched the product, like we were developing it for a little while, but we launched the product in or just over probably in February, March of 2021. So not long ago. Feels like a bit of a time, but and really focused on the CPG audience, so health, wellness, beauty, food, beverage, home, those kind of categories, and really focused on those use cases. CBD.
Yep.
As exactly those use cases of reordering, of cross-selling, of subscription management, of gaining subscribers, and of feedback. Those use cases, and allowing merchants on Shopify to do that via SMS or WhatsApp. So our entire mission, always right from the start at MatcherWorks, has been to power growth for D2C brands, and specifically, we've always looked at repeat revenue as the key driver there.
Okay. Yeah. Great. And so, kind of the platforms that you guys are working with, SMS and WhatsApp, obviously, but then just connecting with Shopify stores. You guys have plans to connect with other stores as well in the future? Or?
Yeah, and I'll get on to Rello, which is our big kind of new product iteration from that, and the next step of solving those problems a bit better. But yeah, so Shopify was always the start. We will at some point expand off of that with the custom API and things like that, but just not yet. Like the Shopify ecosystem is so unique and large. Like there's probably no need, and we have great integrations as well, as you can see, like Recharge, Clovia, Zendesk, Gorgeous, etc. And that's helped us kind of solidify our position within that stack.
Yep. Got it. I guess before we go to Rello, is it Rello?
It's whatever you want it to be, Matt. I think it's Rello in the UK. Probably Relo in the States.
Relo in the States. Nice. I love it. I guess before we go to that, maybe we can talk about some of, I guess, the case studies. I've got a couple sites up here that I believe are using your solution. So maybe we could start with Bottle Shot.
Oh, yeah. Bottle Shot. Yeah. UK-based coffee brand. Bottle Shot and Annie, actually, their founder, were one of our earliest customers almost 2 years ago now, and really dialed into those use cases whereby reordering is critical to their business. Getting subscribers is critical to their business. Providing a great customer experience post-order is critical. And keeping those subscribers is really, really important. So that really fitted in with the problems that we were trying to solve. They also have a retail presence, so omni-channel led, not just e-com. But yeah, Bottle Shot, a great example of an e-com based coffee brand that has those problems. That was very similar, very, very similar to MatcherWorks. A smaller outfit. They're a fairly small team, and where the product has fitted really well into that stack ultimately.
Okay. Got it. So why don't you just, for audience members that are listening and still aren't clear on how your system works, maybe walk us through. So Bottle Shot is not using your system, and then at some point, they find out about you guys. How does that all work? Yeah,
sure. So let's assume you Matt, you're on the store. You've purchased a product. You've purchased one of their mockers in front of you here. A 12-pack or something like that. As soon as you order, instead of getting just the normal email comms, You'll probably also receive a tracking details via SMS.
Okay.
A day later, which you can reply back to with any customer support. You'll probably also then receive tracking details, feedback comms, and then probably as the experience goes on, you'll then receive feedback from that brand in terms of how was the order, what did you think. You can have that two-way conversation in channel. And then perhaps, depending on what you've opted into, maybe 30, 40 days later, you'll receive do you want to reorder this product? You can just reply back here. So that's kind of the experience that a consumer will see. And on the flip side, a merchant, so someone like Bottle Shop themselves, will have a dashboard where they can see all those customers and then they can reply back to all of them as well and have a direct communication with all of them.
Okay, got it. Now, so is it just as far as the setup goes, is it just, a Shopify plugin?
Yeah, exactly that. We're an app on Shopify. It takes a couple of seconds to sync up to Shopify and then link into, probably for Bottle Shop, probably Clovia, Gorgeous, and Recharge, something like that stack, whereby Blueprint is linked into the help desk, Gorgeous. It's linked into their subscription, which you likely Recharge in this instance, and linked in with their email, Clovia.
Okay, got it. And so does that, is there would Bottle Shop need to do any custom development, or is it just pretty plug and play?
No, plug and play. Yeah.
Yep.
Really easy, non-technical. You can get it up and running and have value in the first day or so.
Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah, it sounds super easy. I like it. I guess tell us more about your kind of integration with Clovia, and I guess you recently became a partner with Clovia.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess to give you a bit of context on that, is that we've kind of worked side by side with Clovia, not necessarily integrated with them at the start, but side by side, whereby all of our customers, or generally most of them, would use Clovia, and then would use us on the other side in terms of two-way comms and SMS. Now, over time, we realized if we really want to try and solve those problems in terms of reordering, gaining subscribers, keeping them, and repeat revenue for D2C brands, we need to be closer aligned with Clovia. And it makes sense because the reach of customers is there, right? Like most customers can be reached by email. Only very few of them are opted into SMS, something like 15 to 25%. So if we really want to have an impact, we need to expand outside of just SMS. And that means we need to work closely with Clovia. And when we look at it, Clovia are an amazing tool that works with, basically everyone. But they don't necessarily focus on quite niche problems that we were trying to solve. Things like gaining more subscribers, like managing those subscribers and the comms around that, and really predicting reorders. They do it kind of, but not to the granularity that perhaps we've specialized in. And that made sense, right? Our ICP and our customer base is more niche. So to allow for that, we essentially developed a whole new product, a whole new partnership to solve those problems more effectively, and that's called Relo. And I think we'll touch on that in a sec.
Okay, yeah, great. Yeah, let's transition right into Relo. So I guess real quick, so again, it sounds like your solution is kind of is more powered by powering the SMS feature of that. Is that okay? Got it.
Yeah. So to give you, again, a little bit of context on Relo. Relo is a whole new product line under Blueprint where it tries to solve those problems, reordering, gaining subscribers, and keeping them in a whole new way, in a different way. And how it does that is instead of us sending the SMS comms, whereby we knew it was a bit kind of antagonistic with how Clovia's platform works, instead, we fire data into Clovia. So it happens in three ways. One, we look at who's ready to subscribe, who's ready to reorder, who's ready to try something new. We look at all your Shopify data, which it suggests on the side here. We fire that all into Clovia. And if you scroll down, you might be able to see some of the comms here. And the next one, fire into Clovia. And as a result, you can then send really personalized SMS and email comms off the back of that, which you can't currently do because the data doesn't plug into Clovia. And then lastly, once a customer clicks on maybe a reorder message that you've sent or a try something new message or a do you want to try a subscription message, it then links to what we call the magic cart. So that's the next step. And the magic cart is a hyper optimized mobile first cart page that allows you as Matt, if it was Bottle Shop, to purchase that product, try something new, or subscribe in a click.
Got it. So this is actually just a separate kind of standalone, super simple, basic cart that is powered by your solution?
Yeah, exactly that.
I mean,
So
obviously bringing in the Shopify data and everything.
yeah, so really it happens in three ways. And the reason we did this as opposed to just Blueprint is that now we have the reach of both email and other solutions, because you can put Magic Cart on site, you can put Magic Cart in other areas, you can put it on QR codes and things like that. It happens in three ways. We look at your data, who's ready to do what, we fire it into Clovia, and then we convert those customers. And so far, it's been a really effective tool at solving those core problems that we set out to and the entire mission of the company, to help merchants grow faster and stronger.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it sounds exciting. I mean, I was looking through all the kind of testimonials, and it sounds like you're definitely helping a lot of people out. So,
It's very new as well. We're excited by it. It's a new release. We've been working on it for a number of months, and
mhm.
Clovia have been great with us, and supported this launch a ton. And yeah, ultimately now just trying to iterate on that product and keep it growing.
Got it. Now, if somebody wants to sign up for Relo, do they also use Blueprint as well, or is it just standalone in itself, or do they need
No,
both?
we have quite a few merchants that use both. Yeah, because
Okay.
they naturally integrate really well. But oftentimes now, I would say, as we're growing, it's normally one or the other. So yeah, by no means you need both at all.
Okay.
The only thing I'd suggest here is that Clovia and Shopify are really the only requirements.
Okay. Got it. Yep. Got it. Yeah, maybe let me pull up another one of case study. Or do you have one in mind? I was going to pull up CBD performance.
There's one. If you go on the resources section up here, Matt, just on this tab that you're on.
Okay. Yep.
And then click Relo case studies there, and the second one on the left.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, that one. And then if you look at Bob's Naturals is a good example.
Okay.
Yeah, if you click on that, this is a really good example where a merchant has integrated Relo and increased their repeat revenue by 40%, which is pretty insane, right? So it's really a measure of how effective was their reorder flow working with Clovia. We've come in, why is it not effective? Oftentimes it's because there isn't much data behind it and they're sending traffic to a page that doesn't really convert. So we've come in, sent the right traffic to Clovia, as you can see here, and then sent that traffic to the Magic Cart, and the Magic Cart converts really, really well, just because it's a one-click order optimized cart page. So yeah, for this instance, this has a really profound impact on merchants, not just because it's worth a lot of revenue, but this is repeat revenue and is really important based on the fact that CAC is rising, that profitability is in vogue, that funding is drying up, and that actually you need to grow scalably and repeatably and profitably. And the real way to do that is to grow with your current customers.
Yep. Funny story with Bubs. Actually, I did see that earlier, and that's my wife. That's one of nicknames that my wife calls me. So.
Oh wow! All right, good case study then, eh?
Good case study. So this is the Magic Cart. So I get a link in my text, I click it, and then it opens up the browser.
Yeah, exactly that. But so we wrap around the Shopify checkout as soon as you basically it will say, yeah, hey Matt, here's your products. If it's ready to reorder, it'll have that. If you're ready to subscribe, it'll have that. If you're ready to try a new product, it'll have that. As soon as you click it, it will just go straight to the preloaded Shopify checkout.
Okay, got it. Okay. Great. Well, let's see. We've got a couple more questions before the rapid fire time. Yeah, I guess where do you see the market changing in the next 5 years? Obviously, more SMS. I mean, do you ever see SMS overtaking email, or?
I don't think overtaking email. I think there'll be additional channels over time, but I think the key will be that e-commerce brands and D2C specifically are focused on scalability and on profitability and scalability. So I think the days of the D2C darlings that raised hundreds of millions are probably behind us, and actually to have positive unit economics and EBITDA profitability, you need to scale efficiently with your current customer base. We think there's a huge amount of value in the current customers you have in your CRM or you've already sold to re-engage, to grow and to build with, and that's our entire focus. And we think that's probably only going to enhance over the next few years, especially. But I think so that's what we think will happen generally in terms of smart scaling. But there's been this kind of, not outcry, but like this, I don't know, a bit of a fight against e-com brands recently in the Twitter sphere and in the press. But I think it's based on the fact that the ecosystem is waking up slightly to the fact that you can't just scale unprofitably for that long, and there is huge opportunities to grow. It's just it's not easy, basically. And then you see the brands that have done profitably, doing incredibly well.
Yeah. For sure. So yeah, like besides kind of your area of e-commerce, what excites you most right now, other than kind of your space?
What in terms of tooling or
tools, marketing practices, or
I think it's interesting to see the diversification of acquisition channels. I think that's really interesting. So, like I said, the D2C darlings of yesteryear were built on Facebook and Google, essentially, right? Where now you're seeing like this marketing mix whereby there's SEO in there, there's retail activations in there, there's influencers, there's some paid ads, there's referrals, organic word of mouth, there's organic social. There's loads of things in there that are becoming parts of the acquisition play for D2C brands. And I think with more of that, I just think it's a good thing, ultimately only a good thing. To diversify that, to test with that, to iterate on that, and ultimately reduce the dependency on paid acquisition. I think that's only going to continue, and I think that's a really interesting and really good thing for the ecosystem.
Yep. Yeah, most definitely. All right. Well, here's the rapid fire questions. I'm going to just tell you a bunch of things, and you can say yes, no, or pick one or the other. So we'll start off with, which I already know the answer to this one, but Shopify versus BigCommerce.
You know the answer, Matt. Although nothing to say against BigCommerce. I think how they've grown, they're like this behemoth that people didn't quite realize, and IPOing last year and supporting tens and tens of thousands of customers. I think they're also an incredible company.
Yeah, most definitely. They're gonna, maybe in a couple of years they'll give Shopify.
Well, indeed. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. I think I know the answer to this one too. But Clovia versus MailChimp.
Yeah, I've got to go with Clovia. I think they're again, just the way that they've supported the ecosystem, built their own just entire ecosystem. It's incredibly impressive. I also had the pleasure of meeting their CEO and co-founder the other week, and he was also an amazing guy.
Okay, nice. Where are they based out of?
Boston.
Okay.
I met he was over in the UK, but based out of Boston.
Okay, nice. Favorite D2C brand, or just something that comes to mind?
Oh, well, since you've brought it up, big fan of Bottle Shop.
Okay. That was
nothing against Bub's Naturals, but Annie at Bottle Shop.
Okay. Best coffee in London.
Oh, it
doesn't have to be a D2C brand.
It's funny if I show my brother this. There's he has this place that he goes to, Catalyst Coffee Roasters, which is really, really good. It's in central London. There's also a place called Ozone, which is a mile or so from my flat, which is brilliant.
Okay. Nice. I'll definitely have to connect with you.
Annoyingly, we had a coffee shop in the just under the office block that we work at, and it sadly had to shut down. And that was the best company perk we had for everyone. It was on a company tab, and that's sadly gone.
Yeah, my office before we went fully remote was over a cop shop in Los Angeles. I think the first year in business, my bookkeeper was like, "How much did you spend?"
Yeah, exactly. I had that times all the employees.
Yeah. I know the answer to this one. Man, these are easy. Football versus soccer.
Oh yeah, I'm English through and through, right? Although I think the MLS is getting better each year.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. Do you think Telegram, WhatsApp versus Telegram? Do you think do you see your solution using Telegram at some point, or?
Not really. I think there's a lot to be said about Telegram, but I think yeah, WhatsApp is just ubiquitous in Europe.
Okay, okay. Got it, got it. Favorite football team?
Arsenal.
Okay, okay. Was that one that you played on?
I've played against numerous times, never played for them, sadly.
Okay, okay. Awesome. Well, that brings us to the end, Harvey. Thanks so much. Yeah, everyone. I guess let's maybe a quick. Why don't you tell people where they can find you and websites, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you'd like to promote right now.
Yeah, sure. So as you guys saw earlier, we have two solutions. So there's Blueprint. Blueprint.store is our SMS marketing solution, and then RelloApp.co is our new repeat revenue tool that we built with Clovia. So you can check out there. And then I'm on LinkedIn and Twitter as Harvey Hodd.
Okay, awesome. And we'll have those in the show notes below. So
thank you,
Harvey, thanks so much. Yeah, I look forward to, next time I'm in Europe, I'll definitely hit you up. It's been kind of, I've missed traveling to Europe. It's been on hold since the pandemic.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much. It's been an honor talking to you.
Cheers, Matt. Thank you very much.
All right. Cheers.